Hello, and today we'll be talking about the Conjuring movie. Yes, right. I left the house once in my life. Yeah, I did. I did it last Wednesday. The movie came out, I went to the cinema for the first time was 2 years. Sat in a seat right in the centre of the back. No one else was in there other than, like, some couple having a date. It was very lonely in there. It was in the morning because I'm too much of a bitch to go at night. And let's do this. I'm going to talk about it. The movie has a really good start. Like, we get a very good child exorcism that goes wrong. You know what I mean? Quite fun. Ed gets decked by a child and then gets Kelly marred. Pretty cool. And obviously, it's very, 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 very loosely based on true events of the court thingy about some guy called Archie. I don't know. I even watched the movie and I still don't know his name. His name's Archie. Basically, he gets possessed. He commits a crime and he says the demon did it. And Ed and Lorraine, they have to go out and prove that's a demon. Actually, it's not a demon. Don't know why I said a demon. They have to prove that he was possessed. Okay? The cool thing about this, it's more of a, not an exorcist horror movie. I see it as like a buddy detective, like dealing with like supernatural shit. They're kind of like Ed and Lorraine are just walking around doing detective shit. They're going through things. They're trying to find supernatural shit. They are nowhere near the actual guy he's possessed. The only contact they have with the man is right at the start, and literally right at the end when they're in the court. They're not even there when he's like fully possessed at the end, because they're off in the middle of some sewers doing their own thing. It's very different to the first two, which is why I quite like it. And also, I don't really like it. The main villain of the first two is like either a dead witch, like demon, or like a demon. The main villain of this one, it's a witch who's alive and she's controlling them using some magic, some dark magic or something like that, and summoning demons. And they just got to deal with this witch. That's really cool. It's very different. I quite like it. It's the least scariest out of the three. I would say this just because that we know it's a person behind it, and it's not this demon or like supernatural figure. It's a person that you can just easily like one bang with a gun and they're dead. So it's not as scary just because of that. But it looks cool. Like, it's set in the 80s. It doesn't feel like the 80s, but I don't know what the 80s is. I wasn't born until like the 2000s. While on the subject of looks, the CGI looks really good, and the body horror and stuff like that, with them like redoing their body and all the bones pop in, like, you know, they're possessed, where like they're going, that's my bones popping noises, where they're like moving their heads around, like right at the start and right at the end they do it. It looks really good. Okay, it looks good, and the pacing really good. Ed and Lorraine always making progress. Then they get sidetracked. You know, I feel like they're just kind of doing nothing and kind of letting Arnie die in the prison. They're always working towards the goal. Also, they make you really care about Ed, because they did in the second movie as well. Like, you think Ed's gonna die with the stupid thing. They like hint at it as well, like he needs pills, and kind of leads to nowhere, but also has the very nice like moment right at the end where a certain somebody just has the pills ready for him when he forgets his pills at home, which I quite like. And I'm going to mention the final act. I really like it because of how different it is to the first one. So the first one, you have a possession and Ed and Lorraine deal with it. This one, nah, Ed's possessed at the end of this movie, and Lorraine has to deal with Ed being possessed and trying to like fix it and try and stop him from killing her, while Arnie's currently in a prison cell or prison ward, like flying around and trying to kill himself, and Ed and Lorraine nowhere near them. So they're trying to destroy the witch's thing, while Ed's trying to kill Lorraine. One thing I don't like about it, the power of love wins the day. That's literally how they win. She goes, "Love me," or something, and Ed just remembers through the power of love and destroys the altar magically, because he's somehow right on top of it at the right moment. Even though how they got there wasn't the same how they got there originally, he just kind of teleported there. But that's kind of it. I would say it's the least scariest of the three. It's the most entertaining. I quite like this one because of how different it is to the other two. So it's very different. I like it. If I was going to do like an overall word of it, I would just say it's a good time. It's the least scariest of the three, like no one dies, kinda, and it's the most entertaining. I'm not saying it's the best out of all the movies, it's just the most entertaining in my opinion. But that's just what I think. It's a good time. Please tell me what you think. Talk to you later.